This video is brought to you by Epica Immigration, a leading immigration consultancy firm based in Singapore. If you need assistance with your permanent residency and citizenship applications, our contact details are provided on this slide. Feel free to reach out to us if you're interested. Also, please note that any advice given in this video should be considered as general guidelines only. For more in-depth details and personalized assistance, we encourage you to contact us at Epica Immigration directly. I have heard that if I get Singapore citizenship for my children, then I will have to change them from their current education to the local education stream. Is that correct? Is it compulsory for me to move my kids to local school? So what you have heard is actually true, but it is not an immigration or ICA requirement. This requirement comes from Compulsory Education Act 2000, which is a separate Singapore law. So what it states is that if your child is of a compulsory school age that is between 6 years and under 15 years old, and if the child is a Singapore citizen living in Singapore, then the child must attend a national primary school, which is a government-aided primary school. So this is the legal requirement. Now, a question arises for those children who are not by birth Singaporean, for example, where the entire family decides to convert from PR to citizenship. A question naturally arises as to what happens in case of these children, because they can possibly be converting to Singapore citizenship at an age where they are in primary 2 or primary 3. So, in this first scenario, if your kids aren't in primary school at all, maybe they're around 15 years old and already in secondary or tertiary education, then obviously this requirement doesn't apply to you. You can just ignore it. Now, in this scenario, it is possible that you have a child who is in primary school, but if you really factor in the time that will be taken to process your citizenship application, by the time they get their citizenship, they might be in the last year of their primary education. In such circumstances, you can make an application to the Ministry of Education and request for an exemption because your child is almost finishing the primary education, and it is going to be strenuous for the child to change the stream only for 1 year. In this scenario, if your child isn't attending primary school yet, or is at a very early stage when your citizenship application gets approved, then you'll most likely have to enroll them in the local education system as per the Compulsory Education Act of 2000. If you have any specific reasons to ask for an exemption, you can contact the Ministry of Education for assistance. So, in summary, the requirement is that every child in Singapore who is a Singapore citizen must attend national primary school. However, as I've mentioned in this presentation, there are some specific circumstances, especially for families changing citizenship, where the regulations may apply differently or you may be able to get an exemption.